What's going on, Washington fans? Big win. How about them Cowboys, y'all? How about them Cowboys, man? I'm telling you, big win on Sunday. I'm gonna shout some people out before we hop into the channel. These are my elite channel members joining me tonight, man. We're gonna be lit. Shout out to Hell to the Redskins for life. He said, "Hey Ed, I see your profile picture." His head. Hey Ed, do you think we should just make a big splash move for a receiver or tight end? Because at this point, we have a good chance of winning the NFC least, and I think we should. We definitely will answer that question. We'll get into that. King Sean 32, what's going on, man? Go Trids, what's up, man? Braden Backer, what's up, man? Go Trids, I see you. Hail to the Washington football team. Big boy diehard fan Walker, he's a channel member. Shout out to him. He said, "Someone please call 911. We got Cowboys jumpers." All right, so I got Thomas Rice. What's up, man? Aaron Kelly, what's going on, man? Meese 703, what's going on? Good hit, John Bostic. You're a funny guy. You are a funny guy. We're gonna talk about that later too. But I'm gonna introduce. We got two new elite channel members. Shout out to my guy Oscar Josue Montel. Make sure you guys sub up his channel as well. He has a Washington football YouTube channel, a sports YouTube channel, and shout out to On the Warpath. They both just joined. Make sure you guys sub up On the Warpath as well. He has a lit Washington football YouTube channel. So Oscar, I'll start with you first. This is what I always ask my new channel members. What made you become a Washington football fan, and what was your best moment as a Washington football fan?
So what made me became a Washington football fan? Good question. I don't know an answer to that question. All I remember was just watching football, and Washington was the first team I saw, and I just stuck with them ever since. So that has led me to this point, really. And my favorite moment, I know we discussed it off air, but I think I'm gonna change my mind because I remember this actually it's even better. When we blew out Dallas, it wasn't a blowout, but when we destroyed Dallas, RG3 Thanksgiving, I remember we had them 28-3, I believe, at the half. So that's my favorite moment right there. So thank you for having me as well, Ed.
Oh, anytime, man. That's one of my favorite moments when RG3 went crazy in Dallas on Thanksgiving, man. That was probably my best Thanksgiving ever. Shout out to On the Warpath. So I got the same question for you, man.
Man, what's up, Ed? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So what got me into watching this team is family loyalty, family ties. My granddad was a Redskins fan. My mom, Redskins fan. That's what we bonded over. We still do. My mom and I, we still do today. She'll call me sometimes at halftime, tell me what's going on and everything. So that's something that is sacred to us. And probably my favorite moment, I've got so many, the playoff wins against Detroit and Tampa Bay over the last couple of years. But I kind of told y'all off air, today is the 6-year anniversary of us, Colt McCoy, beating Dallas in there. And that's actually the day that my grandfather passed away. So he, like I say, he's a big Redskins fan. And it was just awesome with all that emotion that we had, that the team came out there and against insurmountable odds defeated the big bad three them boys. And we got to celebrate where them boys day at, and I love it, man. But yeah, that's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, no, I feel you. We were talking about that off air too. When Colt McCoy went in there and beat Dallas in Jerry World, man, guys were doing backflips, big upset on Monday Night Football. One of the rare wins on Monday Night Football. So I got to get my jokes off too before I ask you guys about the jokes. Jerry Jones, he was mad on the interview today. He told one of the interviewers to shut up and listen. We got him pissed off, just like Oscar said before. We got the Cowboys making trades. They're sellers now. It looks like they're about to tank for Trevor, tank for Justin Fields. They traded away Everson Griffin for a 6th-round pick. So we really stuck it to the Cowboys. So my first question for you guys, I'm going to let the OG go first. And then after that, we're going to let Kenny go next. And then after that is Oscar, and then it's On the Warpath. So my first question for you guys is what was your good, bad, and ugly from the game? And did you get to talk any trash to any Cowboys fans that you saw?
Hey, I'm still partying, baby. Cole Holcomb. ran Zeke into the dirt on the way to Andy Dalton to put in that work, baby. Man, man, I wanted them to throw 50 up on their ass, man. I was in there flat, man. I thought I was back in the 80s, man, looking at how we was digging in there. Man, I said, man, if they score another touchdown, I'm going to run from Florida all the way to D.C. just to party up the Georgetown, baby. Man, my biggest letdown was that Jack Del Rio took the foot off the gas on that defense. He's supposed to kept them going. You see Cole Holcomb and them coming up that middle, man. I was like, goodness gracious. I said, man, please keep going. And then I know you're gonna talk about it later, so I won't mention about the Bostic hit, but that was definitely, to me, I was on the fence with that call, and I just feel some kind of way about it. But for the most part, man, I'm glad that we won. I know this is a step towards greatness. Like you said, we causing people to start trading and start revealing their hand that they about to tank. So I'm just feeling good, sir. Show is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about you, Kenny?
I like the way Kyle Allen distributed the football. You know, I like that we got in the end. Terry got in the end zone. You know, I liked basically how he was just, you know, picking the defense apart as far as his legs on a third down conversion. Just things that I know Dwayne Haskins can't do. To see Kyle Allen do it. You know, I'm a Dwayne Haskins guy, but Kyle Allen, you know, right now he looks like the better player. I mean, you know, he just doesn't. He's not a first round pick. He doesn't have the flashy name. You know, he just could be another Kirk Cousins, but better. You know what I mean? The guy, he's just getting the job done. The one ugly, I would say, probably Landon Collins. I feel like that was his best game. You know, this year. And to see him go down, that hurt, you know what I mean? Because I know that he knows that he was playing horrible up until that point. So, you know, just to see him get a sack or a strip sack or whatever that was, you know, and then he can go down with the ruptured Achilles, you know, I was rooting for Landon to basically, man, have a breakout game and just change the narrative that everybody's been saying.
I told her, I mean, yeah, you hit the nail on the head with Landon. I mean, that was his best game by far. So it's rough to see him go down after he finally started playing well. Del Rio played him in the box like he should be. He shouldn't be in coverage. I mean, he had a strip fumble. I mean, he was an X factor in the game. I mean, he probably made one of the biggest, if not the top 3 biggest plays in the game, causing that forced fumble, and then that turned into a safety. So that was huge by Landon. It sucks to see him go down. And we're definitely gonna talk about Landon and see, you know, talk about some guys that might replace or fill in for Landon Collins for the rest of the year. Shout out to Jason Alamio. Thank you for the first donation of the night. He says, yo, man, you got my friend Oscar Montiel coming up. I'm excited. So, Oscar, yes, you are next, man. What was your good, bad, and ugly from the Dallas beatdown on Sunday?
All right. So my good is we finally got Antonio Gibson going. That's the first thing, because he helped me out. I have him in fantasy, so I was very happy that we were able to get him involved a lot more. Also, Terry McLaurin, you know, destroying Diggs, the cornerback. After, you know, when Diggs was talking trash, and then, you know, Terry McLaurin just ran past him. That was my, you know, good for me. Well, we're definitely going to talk about the Bostic hit. That was the one thing that I had marked as ugly in my analysis. But also what I didn't like, the bad, is Dustin Hopkins just missing field goals. And that's something that I've been saying for a while now, is that Dustin Hopkins, I know that, you know, kicking options aren't good at the moment, but he needs to find a way to not find himself in that boat of getting cut, because I've had it up to here with him missing field goals and extra points.
Yeah. I mean, Dustin has been awful. I mean, I think he's missed a kick in every game, whether it's an extra point, whether it's a 30-yard field goal. I mean, he went for 2. I didn't agree with Ron Rivera going for 2 against the Giants, but a lot of people are saying maybe he just didn't even trust Dustin Hopkins to even make the extra point. You brought up Terry McLaurin sunning Trayvon Diggs. Even though Trayvon Diggs is from the DMV area, I still that was probably one of my favorite moments of the game. And on the Warpath, how about you?
Man, I tell you one thing. We went from smoking rocks to running the rock. And thank God Scott Turner finally found a way to run the football 39 times in the rain. So people couldn't use the excuse, oh, we didn't play well because of the rain this time around. So I thought that was great. They pound the rock, looked great there. The bad thing, there wasn't too many bads in there, but I think there were some questionable decisions. It's like, should you have that drink at the bar again, right? And the one of them was going for it on 4th and goal with Kyle Allen. We've seen what Peyton Barber can do on the goal line. Mm-hmm. Why don't you just hand it to him? And then going for 2 when you're already up. I don't know what the chart says there, but I didn't really agree with that. I understood Ron going for 2 in New York more than I understood going for 2 right there, then and there. So that was my ugly there. But other than that, and of course, everybody said the Boston hit, but it is what it is. But man, hey, you gotta be happy though. You gotta be happy with that, and that's what I was. We pound that rock, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the 2-point conversion was questionable. Running football with Peyton Barber, I mean I guess that's why you cut AP to get a ball to Peyton Barber in those situations. You're not even using Peyton Barber the right way. Gibson showed up, so I mean that was huge for us. And Bostic, we'll debate that hit a little bit later. Shout out to Daddy for the super chat for the donation. I didn't want to. It sounds a little weird. Shout out to the donation, man. Burgundy and Gold fan, man. I see you in there. Shout out to Pedro Smith. I see you in the chat. Shout out to him. Make sure you guys sub him up. He is a big Washington football YouTuber. Burgundy and Gold fan all day. Let me see your comment, man. He says, he's been making some funny videos. Make sure you guys sub him up too. He is a Washington football YouTuber. I saw you at the enemy's house, and I'm not going to get into it too much, but if you guys know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
the competitors, my man Burgundy and Gold fan, he was at a Cowboys fan's house, and they weren't too happy after the loss. That it looked like it was going bad. It looked like it was going real bad at that house. But Burgundy and Gold fan, man, shout out to him. He said, I don't know why the Cowboys fans are mad at me. I didn't do anything. Celebrate. You know what I meant, man. You know what I meant. And Reddy Red, I see you in here. He's a Cowboys fan. He said, y'all enjoy y'all Super Bowl. Hey, don't be salty, Reddy Red. Don't be salty, man. Don't be salty. So my next question for you guys is, who do you guys think should replace Landon Collins? Should we just stay with the guys that we have, or would you want to see them go after Eric Reed or Tony Jefferson's out there, or should they try to make a trade? And OG, I'll let you go first. I know there's actually been some reports saying that Eric Reed turned down an offer. If you guys didn't know, Ron Rivera and staff, they offered him to be on the practice squad, and Eric Reed did turn that. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that as well, about him turning down the offer from the practice squad. Do you think he's being a little too cocky or big-headed, or do you think that we were kind of snubbing him? Because, you look at Des Bryant, he had to take a practice squad deal. So it's really not that easy for guys to get deals nowadays. But, I guess Eric Reed felt like he was disrespected by Ron. And, OG, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, man, Eric Reed was definitely one of the ones that I wanted us to go after, man. And, it's unfortunate. And, I think about DeShazier Everett, man. That dude is an enforcer, man. They keep on saying CeeDee Lamb dropped that ball. He short-armed it. He saw DeShazier coming, man. Mm-hmm. He was going to separate him. So, I mean, I'd like to see it. If we don't get Eric Reed, Tony Jefferson is a good thing. Or, to me, put the people's champ at free safety and put Everett at strong safety. That's my.
I'm sorry, I left out Earl Thomas. How do you feel about Earl?
I don't even want to know nowhere near DC. Already out there tripping. I want him to stay wherever he at, whatever's playing in his mind, and him go ahead and do what he got to do. Maybe go play at Dallas. They ain't winning anything anyway. So the 3-point boys. So let him go ahead and play out there with them.
How about you, Kenny?
I mean, to piggyback what Bay was just saying, why not move DeShazier Everett? You know what I mean? And then I heard they brought up Reeves from the practice squad. I'm not sure is he a free safety or strong safety, but I really like what DeShazier's doing. I feel like he could play Landon Collins' spot. You know, I feel like he's out there, he's hitting. And ever since he hit that one guy and he caught a penalty, he got people scared as shit. Trust me. They scared. I like it. I'm so glad that he's playing. He's getting the opportunity to play. You know, I think, you know, he could be, you know, the talk of the town, you know, out of nowhere.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head once again. I mean, he had CeeDee Lamb really. CeeDee Lamb had like 2 or 3 huge drops. He didn't have a catch on the day. I mean, there was one time where he just seen DeShazier and he didn't want any parts of the catch. So I mean, DeShazier is a huge. Anybody would be an upgrade over Apke, but DeShazier has been a huge upgrade so far. How about you, Oscar?
So I say we give Cameron Crowe a chance. Stick with the guys we have. I know that our depth isn't the best, but let's see what Cameron Crowe has, because he's played okay right now in the snaps that he's had. So let's see what he can do, you know, now that maybe the spotlight is somewhat on him for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cameron Crowe, I mean, he's played well too. I mean, he's been a good tackler. He's been up in the box as well. So he can do some similar things like Landon. I mean, I don't know if he can. I mean, Landon was playing pretty bad. So he might actually play even better than Landon, because Landon was bad in coverage. Cameron Crowe looks like he's a little bit faster than Landon too. So I want to see what Cameron Crowe can do too. How about you? How about you on the Warpath?
Yeah, I'm more of an in-house guy. I like to see what we got with the Bulls in the stable already. You know, if Eric Reed says he doesn't want to do that practice squad deal, like the practice squad this year isn't it's not an indictment on anybody. It's just really getting you ready to come. It's like a mini minor league for him for a second, just to come on up and everything. But if he don't want to do it, I don't want to have nothing to do with you at that case. And like y'all said about Shays, they were like, well, he's a strong safety, but he's been playing that free real well too. So I think we got the guy. Jeremy Reeves showed us stuff last year in preseason, and they just called him up to the active roster. So you know, why not go with what you have already, and you know, keep your draft picks intact. Don't spend your capital if you don't need to.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at Pro Football Focus, and I know a lot of people don't trust it, but I think it was saying that Eric Reed was ranked 69th out of 71 safeties in coverage. So he didn't play well last year. And like you said, on the warpath, you know, you see a guy like Des Bryant, who has probably one of the biggest egos in the game of football history, and this guy's on the practice squad for the Ravens. So, you know, if he doesn't want to buy in and be here, then it is what it is. You know, I remember we got you know, burned by bringing in Clint Dix 2 years ago, giving up a 4th round pick. So I don't want to, you know, maybe Eric Reed might have been the next Clint Dix, and he might have not worked out for us. So I would stay in house as well. Shout out to Redskin 007 for the donation. He said we held Dallas to 142 total yards. Defense, baby. Let's go, HTTR. Much love and respect for all you guys. Keep up the good NFL content. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, the defense was great. I mean, we kept Andy Dalton in check. Zeke didn't do anything. Zeke was scared of it. He got manhandled by Cole Holcomb. He got ragdolled. So, I mean, CeeDee Lamb didn't want any parts. So, I mean, we stuck it to that defense, to that offense, man. We really did. Amari Cooper, I barely heard his name. You know, I barely heard Michael Gallup's name. I barely heard any of those guys on Sunday. Me 703, thank you for the donation. He says we need to be sellers, not buyers. Bill Belichick would have traded Ryan Kerrigan yesterday. Jack Del Rio said Cameron Crowe in at strong safety. So that does bring me to my next question. You know, I was gonna leave this for a little bit later in the show, but I guess we'll talk about it right now. Shout out to Mies once again. So, are you guys buyers or sellers at the deadline? And I'll let you go first, OG.
I'm both, man. I'm buying and selling. Like I said, I like to get Marvin Jones. I think that's going to be something great that we can have at the wide receiver. I like to get him. I think we can get him for about maybe a 5th or 6th, because he's an older guy, and plus he's going to lead them anyway at the end of the year, so they might as well go after him. I'm not big on Brandon Sheriff, man, and the reason why is he's played less games than he's worth. I think they average it out to what is 3 years, 16 games, and you're already getting paid 15 or 14 this year. If I can get a 1st round pick for him, I keep him. If not, I go ahead and let them test the market and put a second round tender on them at the end of the year, man. And whoever get them, man, they sign them. We pick up a second round pick. Ryan Kerrigan, if I can't get a third for him, he ain't going nowhere because I know he gonna resign with us to be a Redskins for life. But if I can get a third for him, I'll go ahead and do it in a heartbeat. Ryan Anderson, I love the guy, man, but I know he's gonna end up getting offers somewhere else that we can't even match, and we probably won't even want to match it. So if we can get maybe a fourth or fifth for him, I'm not happy with that. I think fourth and fifth round picks for us work anyway. I'm up in the air on Dwayne Haskins, man. I know I'm done with him. I know God may not be done with him, but I am. And I just don't know if we'll get what we really want for him or what we need or what we deserve. You know, we can't get a third round pick for him, and they don't need to trade him, man. You might as well just keep him on the books and go ahead and let him ride out on the bench, and maybe he'll come back fighting next year. Lord have mercy, man. I just probably at the end of the year, man, I'm done with Troy Acme, man. I don't even want him on special teams anymore. I hate seeing his name. I'm mad at Penn State for even allowing us to draft that motherfucker. But matter of fact, let me go with that. I'm buying and selling, sir.
Hold on, OG. But who saved that one return by Tony Pollard? Who had a tackle on that, OG?
I don't know, because if his name is Apke, I don't know.
It was Troy Apke. That could have changed the game. So I will give Apke his credit.
And we had these people gone off the break. You see how we ran straight down the field? All he had to do was keep running the ball. We just scored the first drive. We had them people. They came out to set the tone. You don't realize that they hit them. They punched them people, uppercut them people. And then, oh, Lord, I want to talk about that so bad. But I'll wait. Mind my business. I'll wait, sir.
But hold on, OG. But like I said, I mean, I can't defend Apke, but like I said, I'll probably cut him. I would cut probably him and Sprinkle. I'll probably let them both go right now.
Oh, I want him to send Sprinkle down here. I want to take him fishing down here by one of them alligator ponds and throw his ass in there. He's disappointed me, and I've been an advocate for his ass.
But one thing I will say, Apke did make the game. He did make a good tackle. That's probably his best play of the year, stopping Tony Pollard from getting in the end zone, because it was a terrible kick by Dustin Hopkins. That's what led to the big return. But yeah, I'll let you go ahead, Kenny.
Man, I think me and Bay, we think alike. I'm both. You know what I mean? I love the Marvin Jones rumors. I would love to have him. Depends on what they want. And I feel like Ron and them, they real smart. They cheap. You know what I mean? They know how to find people for cheap that's good quality football players. So if we can somehow land Marvin Jones, that would be nice to pair with Terry. Now, let's get to Ryan Anderson. I like his attitude, but as far as his play, he's not doing nothing, bruh. Like he could go, like, you know, at this point with third round, fourth round, I'll take that. Troy Apke, you know, Troy Apke, he's that guy in the gym when he's warming up, hit every 3-point shot. But in the game, trash. Straight trash. I will trade him, cut him, you know. He just let us down too. He cost us a lot of games this year, letting those balls just go over the top of him, left and right. So get rid of him. Get rid of Ryan Anderson. I would keep Kerrigan 9 less. We can get something sweet for him, because I really like Ryan Kerrigan. He produces. He's loyal. He's like a glue guy. He does everything right. You know what I mean? He's not flashy. He's our Draymond Green of the team. You know what I mean? You just do everything, you know, even if he ain't getting a lot of playing time, when he do get in, he makes something happen. Like, oh, Ryan Kerrigan got a sack. This is only his 4th snap. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely get rid of those two, you know. And as far as Haskins, too, Haskins, let him sit. Don't give up on him yet. He threw 50 touchdowns, over 8 picks at Ohio State. I understand they had a track team as receivers and stuff like that and a good running back, but I feel like Ron, just like he did Cam, he can get to him. Haskins got bad feet, though. Maybe he need to get on the jump rope. He need to watch my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Get on that jump rope. But yeah, that's what
yeah, man. Hey, no, go ahead, OG.
I apologize, Ken. Hey, is it possible that we can trade Apke to the Maryland Terrapins for just season tickets?
He'd get burnt there.
Hey, look, that's
They
their
get
problem.
burnt there.
No,
He
did
takes the
y'all
wrong
see?
angle. I'm sorry. He takes the wrong angles.
He does it. I don't. Yeah, Maryland was so trash. Maryland, we lost to Northwestern 43-3 or
Yeah,
something like that.
trash.
It got real ugly. But like you said, after I mean, we talking about practice, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. But he plays well in practice. You know, he fooled everybody. This man fooled the media. Like everybody was hyping this man up, thinking he was the next coming of like you know, Sean Taylor or something. The way they talked about him. And then, you know, he goes out there and he just bums it up. Doesn't even look like a starter in the NFL anymore. So it's hard to listen to DC media anymore. But I don't think we can trade Apke. Like you said, Ryan Kerrigan. I'm with you 100 on that one. I think we should keep Ryan Kerrigan, especially because during the game they said Montez Sweat was being evaluated for a concussion, and you know Chase Young already had the groin injury. So you know I would just keep Kerrigan too because he has 3 sacks. That's the crazy thing about it. He's had minimum snaps. He hasn't had as many snaps as Chase or Montez. And he's still putting in work, and he is that glue guy. We still need that veteran leader to show Chase Young how things are done and Montez Sweat how to work in the weight room, just little things like that, how to get things done. And you can still teach him that bull rush. So I would for sure, because we're going to need him. You know, when we get down to the last few games, when we're fighting with the Eagles towards the end of the year, if we're still in the hunt, which we should be, you know, we're going to need him to get the Carson Wentz. We saw what he did to that Eagles offensive line. So we're going to need – we're probably going to need Kerrigan back in Week 17 when we play the Eagles again. But Oscar, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, no. I'm just gonna echo what everyone has said. Yeah, keep Kerrigan, because again, veteran leadership, and he can also teach Montez Sweat, because I think Montez Sweat is the one that keeps on getting the offside penalties. Maybe teach Montez Sweat not to do that as much. Have that veteran presence there. We need another wide receiver. I'm sick and tired of seeing Dontrell Inman. Cam Sims is good. I just can't wait to get Steven Sims back. But I'm tired of seeing Dontrell Inman there as well. Because he's a no one. In my opinion. So, bring in Marvin Jones. Other than that, yeah, Ryan Anderson, he hasn't produced as well, so maybe trade him. Haskins, toxic environment, and I'm the type of person to say, you know, if it's toxic, you don't need that in your life, get rid of him. I don't think, you know, apparently him and Ron Rivera were talking, but when Ron Rivera got the job, but whatever they talked about didn't, you know, motivate Dwayne Haskins as of right now. So I just say get rid of him, have him go somewhere else. Maybe trade him to the Patriots. Maybe Bill Belichick will set him straight. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you said about the wide receiver core. I think we need help there. We're lacking other than Terry. Cam Sims had a good catch against the Giants for the touchdown. Inman has 2 touchdowns on the year. And I'm sorry, people corrected me in the chat. Kerrigan has 4 sacks already. I mean, that's crazy. For the amount of snaps he's getting, he has 4 sacks. That's just crazy to me. So I would keep him. Unless you're going to get like a 3rd round pick for Kerrigan. If they're offering like a 6 like they did for Everson Griffin and I think the Giants traded Marcus Golden. They only got a 6. I'm not taking a 6 for Kerrigan. You got to give me at least 4th, 3rd round, something like that for Kerrigan, because the dude is balling. He's got 4 sacks already. But yeah, Marvin.
I traded him in Madden for a 3rd round pick. So if I can get a 3rd round pick for him in Madden, then
right. So I'm hoping it can work out like Madden. And then on the warpath, how about you?
Yeah, I think asset number 1 that you're going to sell is Ryan Anderson. Excuse me. You know, he's not doing anything, but we know what we saw out of him. Just try to see what you can get out on 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever. Get rid of him. Get off the books. You know, Ryan Kerrigan, I've joked and said that he's been in witness protection, but when the government comes looking for him, he comes and delivers. He's got them sacks in them games. So I'm like, I forgot we had a 91 on the team the previous 5 weeks. And then, you know, as far as Dwayne goes, is this a dead experiment? Probably so. I think it's probably time for him for them to cut ties with this. The one thing that Ron is slipping into the same trip that previous coaches has fallen into is the narrative set by the DC media. And I think that's what's killing it more than anything. I think that's what's fueling the fire. If you don't want them, just say, hey, we're going to move on. I know you, and get rid of them. Just go ahead. And to this point, we know Kyle is his guy. So, if Dwayne wants to go, let him go. And that, but other than that, I think Ryan Anderson, that's enemy number one, not enemy number one, but asset number one. And Marvin Jones, I think that's a great pickup as well. Dontrell Inman is garbage. I mean, that man runs shorter than the little midgets on South Park. That's as bad as he is sometimes because he's always coming up short of the line in the game. So bringing Marvin Jones in there, somebody that's established, somebody they can get to sing the national anthem for him too. So, you got a dual threat right there. Decent wide receiver, guy that can sing. So,
So Sharon Lewis, thank you for the donation. I mean, we just talked about Haskins. I'll ask, I want to ask you guys what you guys think we can get for Dwayne Haskins, because Sharon Lewis says Haskins to Dallas for a 6th-round pick because the Red Rifle looks like he got beat up pretty bad against Washington. And then Ben DiNucci doesn't even look like an XFL quarterback out there when he played against us in the second half. So what do you guys think we could get in return for Dwayne Haskins if we do trade him? And then I do want to ask you guys about the reports that came out a couple of days about the virus protocols that he broke, and how has he handled the situation after he's been benched. How do you guys feel about that? And OG, you can go first.
Wow, man. I mean, he is truly amazing me, man. I'm surprised he's not, somewhere up at DuPont Circle, hanging out with people up there. But man, I don't teams know that we're going to keep him because we're not going to get what we think is equal value for him. He may be to us a 3rd-round pick, but to someone else he may be a 6 or a 7 because they feel like they can fix him, but they don't want to give up a valuable mid-round pick. The best place for him to go to me would be Pittsburgh because I think that he fits what they do, and he'll get to sit behind Ben. But if we're not sending him to Pittsburgh, man, I don't want him in our division at all. And I don't think the 3-point boys would even give us anything for somebody like Haskins. Number one, they're tanking. They're probably going to use the dude Ben Lunchable to continue the season out. And I mean, man, it's a sad day. It's a sad day when you talk about Haskins, man. This man can't stay out of his way, man. I just think maybe we need to do what the Eagles did when they picked up that 3rd-string quarterback. They told him just stay home. We'll pay you $200,000 a week just to stay home. Maybe we just need to just tell him to stay home. And if he catch the coronavirus or he catch anything else, it'd be festated around his family or something like that. Because honestly, I don't think he really gives 2 fucks about being here anymore. And I understand, but I just don't think he wants to be anymore. And we can't afford to just let him just go for a 5th, 6th, or 7th. I'll go as high as a 4th, but a 3rd is my goal.
Yeah, I'll let you go, Kenny.
I mean, I feel like Haskins, he never wanted to come here. I followed his career at Ohio State. He wanted to go to the New York Giants. He was upset when the Giants didn't draft him. Okay, you know what I mean? He was born in New Jersey, and then moved here, I believe, with Sean Springs and went. You know what I mean? That whole thing. So he always wanted to go to the New York Giants. Would I trade him? Sure. In the division? Hell no. Hell no. Just our luck. We trade him in the division and he light us up. Light us up out of nowhere. Somebody develops him and then all of a sudden, like, man, we had him. Then we just look crazy. So I wouldn't trade him in the division at all. And right now, I don't think no one's going to give up a high pick for him because he's just been putting bad film out there. Okay. Minus the Ravens game. But even with that, it was patting his stats. He didn't really do too much. Yeah, I would trade him, but not in the division.
Right. No, I agree with you on that one too. How about you, Oscar?
So he's 3-9 as a starter, if I'm not mistaken. So he hasn't produced ever since the flashes were there. At least he didn't turn over the football in the Ravens game. But after Ron Rivera just gave up on him, I just say, and the way that he's acting, doing I guess partying in hotel rooms or whatever, get rid of him. I say a late round pick. I'd say a third day pick, which is what sixth or seventh round pick. I know I would be fine with that. I just, again, I'm not a big fan of the toxic environment. And I think I watched one of your videos, Ed, where when I heard that he was partying up in the hotel room and was faking an illness, I was like, who does that sound like? And I put my finger on it, and then you said Jalen Ramsey, and I'm like, oh yeah, it sounds just like him when he was trying to get himself out of Jacksonville. So I think this is his way of saying, you know what, I want to leave. So that's my opinion on it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure if it was a party or hotel party, or anything like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, Jalen Ramsey did the same exact thing. He had the back injury, he was sick. I mean, he had every excuse in the book to not go to work. Basically, Haskins is not going to work. That's his job, and he found. I'm not going to speculate and say that it was a fake virus either, but it might have been. It probably, I don't want to talk about it too much and speculate, but he didn't go to work for a whole week. He didn't travel with the team, or he didn't go to the game. I forgot who. I think we played the Rams. He didn't show up to work that day either. So I think it definitely is time to move on from Dwayne Haskins. How about you on the warpath?
Yeah, and I mean, I think we all got to preface that statement by saying, a lot of us were Haskins fans, Haskins supporters. I mean, I still am, but it gets to a point where you got to make a business decision. I hate to invoke this man's name, but Colin Cowherd said it the best today. Successful people know when they made a mistake. And we got to realize that if we want to be successful, we got to realize we made a mistake. This was a rush pick. And it's like Kenny said, I remember watching him when he looked at that phone and he knew he wasn't going to be a New York Giant. And the look of disappointment in his face was like, I mean, he looked like a spoiled kid on Christmas. And, I'm not going to character assassinate the guy, but at the end of the day, was the 4 games fair to him? No, but I don't want him to be in a place that he's just going to be dragged through the dirt. Move on. If you can get whatever you can recoup off of him, if it's a 3rd, if it's a 6th, whatever, just go ahead, move on with it. Because it's a dead narrative. We got to think about this. We're still talking about the 3rd string quarterback of the Washington football team who hasn't played in 2 weeks. A team has come off a win, played 2 competitive games, and yet he is still one of the leading headlines in a press conference. It's a key thing. It's a football team, not days of our lives. That's what I think. We just got to move on and be about winning and everything. And if he ain't a part of it, you just got to move on from him. That's all. Let him amicably agree to move on and say bye to each other. Kiss and say goodbye.
But Kenny, I think you're all right. He and we don't know for sure either, but he probably did want to go to a different team. And, he said the league done messed up, man. It's looking like we messed up right now. So, but I still wish the best for Dwayne Haskins. And like you said, on the warpath, I hate that he's such a, I'm not going to say I hate that he's such a big headline after we won the game. That's why I'll transition. My next question will be about Kyle Allen, the current quarterback that we have. But I'm going to get to this donation really quickly here. Gear Cell 1, thank you for the donation. He says, Troy Apke looks like he wears leather drawers. Y'all are lighting Troy Apke up, man. Y'all will not let this man go, man.
He putting aloe vera back in business, man. All in burns every week.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh man, Landon Ishmael, shout out to him. Thank you for the donation as well. He says, y'all think with the big win, or I'll say y'all think with the big win against the Cowboys or the 3-point guys that they will get a big boost and start winning more games. I'll let you guys answer that question real quick.
The Cow Turds going to win more games, or
Yeah, that's what Landon's asking.
he asking, are we going to win
No,
more
he said,
games?
Landon, are you at? Do you think the Cowboys gonna win more games, or we win more games? I'm looking to see if he commented again to clarify the question for sure, because it is a little worded. Interesting. I guess Landon is saying if Washington is gonna win more games.
If he's saying that, then I think that is I think it's truly a momentum booster, especially at this particular time where the division is totally dysfunctional and we're right there almost at the top, and we're on a bye. So right now we can actually start scheming and getting better. Hopefully, what's the guy name? Brandon Sheriff. He can stay healthy throughout the season. I don't think we're getting Sadiq back, so I really want to see him at left guard. But I honestly think that this will probably boost us. We got two winnable games coming up after this bye: the New York Smurfs and Detroit Lions. We got them, so that's definitely something to look forward to. And I think we probably, God knows I hate doing this prediction stuff, knowing how they do me bad. But yes, to answer that question, I think this is going to boost us. Yes, sir.
How about you, Kenny?
Definitely going to boost us. Did you see the way the defense finally came all the way together? I mean, yeah, absolutely. I know for a fact that when we play more division games, we're going to win. I could stamp that. I don't think nobody's messing with us in the division except for Philly. I feel like the Giants game, Kyle Allen lost that game, or I feel like honestly, you shouldn't have went for the win. You should have played, field goal, did that. I would have played it like that. Or if you was gonna go for two, like my man said, give it to Peyton Barber on the goal line. He seems to get in all the time. He's in the middle and then jumps the Powell. He undefeated doing that. So definitely going to boost the momentum. I feel like the defense is coming together. I feel like they having fun out there. They meeting at the quarterback. If Chase Young is getting double teamed, but Montez Sweat is coming from the other side, John Allen is benefiting because Chase Young is getting double teamed and he's getting a sack. Things is just showing up. You're not seeing it on live TV, but when you go back and watch the film or they show the replay of Chase taking on two people, breaking off those two people and still tackling Ezekiel Elliott when he only gained like 2 or 3 yards, that's impressive, man. So I feel like, we trending up is what I'm saying, gentlemen. We trending up. Green light.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Terry McLaurin speech after the game, and you can tell he's a guy that doesn't really talk a lot. He's more about his business, like you saw with Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs was doing most of the chirping. Terry did most of the balling out there. And that speech after the game, it told me that these guys have really come together as a unit, and the chemistry is there. And they love to win games. They're not all about this tanking for Trevor kind of stuff or whatever people talking about. Terry said what he said after the game, and it looks like these guys are trending upwards. How about you, Oscar?
Oh yeah, because we have the bye, right? Mm-hmm. So that'll give us 2 weeks to prepare for the Giants in reality. If we bring in more pieces for Kyle Allen, like Marvin Jones, then we'll definitely beat the Giants, because when we faced the Giants the last time, I think that was the only time Terry McLaurin was shut down most of the game. So if we have another wide receiver, on the other side, then the Giants won't know what to do, to be honest. Because, like I said, Kyle Allen had 280 yards in that game. So yeah, definitely. The next few games are winnable, and if we win those 2 games, then we'll be at 4-5, and we'll be right in the thick of things. Hopefully in the lead, but by that time. So,
How about you on the warpath? On the warpath.
Can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to deflate the balloon a little bit. who did we beat? We beat a bunch of scrubs. And you know, we've got a lot of improving to do. Detroit, they're not a pushover. The Giants proved that they can contend with teams. They did against Dallas. They beat us. Philadelphia, they let them come back. So those were 3 winnable games for them as well. I just don't want to be in a position where I'm overlooking teams because we beat the bad Cowboys. With that being said, I think those games are winnable, and where you can be competitive in there. But I don't want us to, you know, start like, you know, hey, checking these games off. You know, it's like Bay just said, you know, I hate predicting because they will let you down. They are like they're like their girlfriend that's a 10. She will find another man and move on because of your ugly ass. So you know that's what you know that at the end of the day, I really don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to outkick my coverage, but you know it gives us great momentum. It gives us great momentum in that, and you know, kind of like what you said, Ed, about that Terry McLaurin speech and everything, and then what he did with Diggs, right? He said, "Hey, you want to scrap? You will get scrapped," and that's what happened there. But yeah, great momentum. This is a momentum building win, probably a program building win if we can keep up the momentum.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's everything about culture. I mean, that's what we've been preaching this whole offseason with Ron Rivera is changing the culture. And Terry McLaurin, Chase Young, Montez, those are the guys. You know, Montez doesn't talk a lot either. Chase Young he's not a rah guy either like that. But they get it done on the field, and they talk when needed. They talk when needed. Pax Howard, thank you for the donation. He says, "Can we talk about Dustin Hopkins? Dude is 8 for 12 on field goals with a missed extra point and cost us the game in New York." Ron Rivera doesn't seem concerned with. I mean, you guys can just quickly go over Dustin Hopkins. I don't want to call him Dustin Trashkins just yet, but you know, what do you guys think about that? We'll just do this real quick.
I thought you was going to get a trash can back out, Ed. Nah, I think the only way you're going to solve Dustin Hopkins if you're not going to release him, you go ahead and let him practice over there in Southeast where they're busting off at. That'll fix it.
How about you, Kitty? How about you, Kitty?
Oh man, he having a bad year. He usually ain't like this. You know, he been solid for us for, you know, a couple seasons. He's just having a bad year. Maybe he's seeing ghosts. I don't know what's going on with him. Like Bay said, man, you know, Southeast right around the corner, man. Go kick some field, go warm up. Keep that leg warm, bro. You know. I wouldn't get rid of him though. I feel like he's gonna pull it together. His resume is pretty good. He's pretty solid. Not this year though. He's just having a bad year. You know what I mean? But he's pretty solid. This is the first year we actually talking about him missing, other than that one time that he missed in London a few years ago. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That London game. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Yes. So that right there. But other than that, I would say ride with him for a little bit, man, because he might get it back together. He's just, you know, he in his head right now, missing extra points and things like that. That's like missing a layup, man. You know, you just gotta keep at it. You know, like cornerbacks, you know, they get burnt. You know, they gotta have what's the word I'm looking for when they just don't think about it and then they keep playing like next play, even though they got burnt the last play. You know, short memory, man.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's facts. How about you, Oscar?
Look, so unfortunately there aren't any good kickers out there. So I guess I say stick with him for now. But if there were any good kickers, get rid of him because I'm sick and tired of him missing. You know, this is his first year, but imagine what the team could have been if he made extra points and field goals. So. You know, I'm the type of get rid of them, but unfortunately there aren't good kickers out there right now, so I guess we're gonna have to stick with them.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Warpath?
So I got this idea. So y'all talking about Southeast, right? Just get one of the hardest brothers there, bust his kneecap, put him on IR, let him recover, and we deal with whoever we got as kicker from there. And you know, maybe he might learn something. He might be all right, but I find it hard to like this loyalty. What is this loyalty with Dustin Hopkins? You know, he doesn't make clutch kicks unless they're like point blank. that I mean, I can't really. And if I'm missing a game where he like, boom, bang, he made a 45-yard field goal to win the game, I apologize, but that does not recollect in my mind. So, I mean, there's some field goals that he's pushing bad. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I like the consistency of having him, but if he isn't, if he can't get right, then you might have to change some things there. I mean, he's missed what 4 field goals so far this year, and he's missed an extra point. So I mean, that's 1 kick in like the first 5 out of 7 games. So I think that's something that needs to be talked about for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on a short leash, and Ron Rivera has stuck behind him. But it's hard to change kickers. I mean, like Oscar said, there's just not a lot out there. We did sign Brett Maher, and we let him go. And Brett Maher was trash for the Cowboys last year. So the pickings are just really, really slim. I'm gonna get to some donations real quick, and then I do have a couple more questions to get to. There's a lot to talk about. I know some donations have like swept away because the way StreamYard is, but I still have this one donation. I had to take a picture of it. Derek Hawkins, it just went away. He said when Montez Sweat gets a sack, we say "make it last forever" as his nickname / mantra. But yeah, Montez Sweat has been a beast, man. I think he has 5 sacks already on the season, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, the guy has played his butt off. I mean, he has more. He's leading the team in sacks. He's looked like an all-pro player. I mean, how do you guys?
All-pro.
Yeah. How do you? This is one question that I had too for you guys. So thank you for the donation, Derek. This reminds me of the question that I had. I did want to talk about the defense. I want to get you guys' take on Jack Del Rio so far. The defense as a unit, as right now, who would have thought we are the number 1 ranked pass defense in the NFL? I know some stats can be misleading, but it is what it is. I'll take the trophy for that. I thought the guys had played well with Kendall Fuller stepping up, but I want to ask you guys, who do you think has played the best on the defensive line so far? Has it been Montez? Has it been Chase or Kerrigan for you guys? And how do you guys grade Chase Young's play so far, and just Jack Del Rio as a whole, the defense as a whole? And I just want to hear you guys take on the defensive line. OG, I'll let you go first.
I think Jack Del Rio started off slow. He's starting to learn what he got. And, by not being able to have a preseason like all the other teams, you really didn't get a good feel for your players. So that workout with Kerrigan and the year he had under, on the other side with Montez Sweat, I think that was a boost for Sweat. I think Sweat right now is the number 1 defensive player we have, in my opinion. It's so many, but I think he is. He's playing with a lot of energy. He's coming off that end with aggression. He wants people to know that he's not no fluke. When you drafted him you should have got him in the top 10. He's the one that should have been saying the league done messed up, and not
right
other guy. But Lord have mercy, Chase Young, you can't replace. They don't even have stats for what he does. Like making the quarterback run another way, making the running back run another way, the tight end, taking the tight end out the game by chipping him before he coming around that corner. And it's just like, wow, we got so much. And Lord have mercy, the animal who I said was going to lead our team in sacks, my main man, number 94, he is coming into his own. He's hungry. He can't get there fast enough to sack somebody or to hurt somebody because Chase Young and Sweat is there. So I think we really got something great with that defensive line. I'm glad we re-signed Kendall Fuller. He is a turnover machine. Man, I'm loving the Shazar Everett. Man, it is so much you can say about this defense, but if it's the one that I'm gonna speak about the most, it is definitely Montez Sweat. I think Jack Del Rio has found his groove, and if he used Cole Holcomb like he did in that game, Lord help, man, call up, like Shannon Sharp said, call in the National Guard, because them people coming. They got coming.
Right. How was you, Kenny?
Oh man, yeah, Bay hit everything. He kind of stole my thunder, man. We think alike. He started off slow, Del Rio. Now he's heating up, man. Like NBA Jam, he's heating up. I like what he did with Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb looked like Luke Kuechly that game. You know what I mean? I have to go. It's between Montez Sweat and Kendall Fuller. I think they neck and neck. I think both of them are going to be all pro or pro ball for sure. Both of them. Chase Young, you know, his stats ain't showing up. How he's impacting the game. Okay, taking on double teams, chipping like Bay was saying. You know, teams are planning for a rookie. They scheming on a rookie. He's a rookie. This is his first year. You know, this is his year one. You know what I mean? His impact is ferocious. Yeah, but between Montez Sweat and Kendall Fuller, I think they neck and neck. They're a tie. All pro players right now. I think they at this pace with the way they're going, definitely all pro bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Montez has been a dog so far. He's been a dog. How about you, Austin?
So we didn't have Kendall Fuller at the first few games, right? So my thought was, when I saw, our secondary getting burnt, and when I saw Kendall Fuller coming back, I was like, I'm wondering if there's going to be any. I was wondering if there was going to be any difference, and there is a difference because Kendall Fuller intercepted Lamar Jackson twice, and I think Lamar Jackson had like a streak of passes where he did not get intercepted, and Kendall Fuller broke that streak. So Jack Del Rio started out slow, but he's heating up. Montez Sweat is the sack leader, and he's balling. And I really like where the defense is headed. I'm quite surprised that we're number one, especially with the way that our secondary started off this season. But I'm happy because Kendall Fuller is showing it. And hopefully he doesn't go down with an injury because Washington needs that guy. Straight up, because we were getting burnt when he wasn't around.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller's been a beast. I mean, he had 2 picks in the Ravens game, like you said. He had a huge interception against the Giants on Danny fumbles. I mean, he's been a huge piece for us. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, man. I don't think people realize what Chase is doing. Like we saw those 2 tight ends on him, right? And how he shifts the play of the offense. It's not coming up on the sack total, but it is with Montez Sweat. I said at the beginning of before the season started, I thought he was going to be our leading sacker, and that right now he's in the mix for that. And Kendall Fuller as well. But y'all, we keep on forgetting about the guy we don't hear too much about. Ronald Darby has played really well over the last few games. I know we've given him a lot of grief, but the fact that I don't hear his name in coverage on things, that makes me that's a check. It's almost like with Cornelius Lucas on the offensive line. If you don't hear his name, unless it's an interception, it's good. So I think people need to give Darby a lot of credit because we thought it was going to be Fab Moreau, and we haven't seen too much of him because of the way Darby has played. And like y'all said, Jack Del Rio, this man, he's a baker. He's not cooking. He is baking, and it takes time to bake and make it good. And he's coming together. I love listening to Jack Del Rio. You know why? Because he's boring. He's boring. He doesn't tell you anything. He's the best poker player in the world. He don't tell you anything in press con, and then he come out there and he stab you right in the back. I love it, man. And this defense, it's surprising that they're first, but they're top 15 in third down and red zone defense. It's amazing how the deficiency is between them and the offense, and how that kind of hurt them in probably ranking higher. But I rank my defense on what they are on third down and in the red zone, and they're doing pretty well right now, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, Darby's been a pleasant surprise. He was really bad in the Eagles game, and then he played better in the second half. I think he gave up a big pass to Christian Kirk in the Cardinals game. Ever since, I haven't heard his name, and that's a good thing. You don't want to keep hearing Ronald Darby's name like you heard Josh Norman's name on every other play. So Darby's been playing well. And Kenny, once again, what you said about Chase Young, the stats aren't there. He has 2.5 sacks, and Montez has 5, and Kerrigan has 4, and Chase has 2.5, which really isn't bad. But like you said, he's been getting the pressures. He's doing the things that just doesn't show up on the stat sheet. So he's been making a huge impact without getting the sacks. And it was something funny that his mom said she really wants him to get sacks, and he was telling her how hard it is to get a sack. But I guess she doesn't know. She just wants to see her son get a sack. But Dora Gunner, thank you for the donation, man. He says them boys hiding in caves in Afghanistan. We'll see if I can find them when I get back there soon. We'll let you know. Shout out to Dora Gunner. He's a channel member. I think he's overseas right now. He says, #Warpath about to be broke.
That's a long story. Don't ask me about that. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So somebody else's donation went off the screen. There's been a lot of comments coming in. BJ the GOAT, he is a loyal subscriber. He's been subscribed to my channel for a little while. He said, I don't want Kyle Allen to mess up where we draft quarterback needed, where quarterback is needed. So that's one question I had for you guys too. I wanted to talk about the offense too. We just talked about defense, but I guess we'll specifically talk about Kyle Allen. We remember I was one of the people that was not happy with Ron when he did make the change from Dwayne to Kyle. I was like, oh man, you got to give the young 23-year-old man at least more than 4 games. You know, I was like, oh man, you got to at least give him the Bible. You got to give him a game against the terrible Cowboys and a game against the terrible Giants. You know, I was like, oh, he should have given Dwayne a little bit more time. And now Kyle Allen he's doing his thing. So I just want to hear you guys take on Kyle Allen. Do you think there is somewhere, somehow he could be a franchise quarterback for this team? Like, let's say he miraculously leads us to 8-8 or 9-7 or something like that. Is there a way where he could be a franchise quarterback? Do you think Kyle Allen is going to be quarterback number 1 starting in 2021, the next year? What's your thoughts on Kyle Allen so far, and what do you think his future is in DC? If you just had to take a guess right now.
If I had to take a guess, man, I mean, he's progressing. He's definitely getting better each game. Do I believe he's a franchise quarterback? What I do believe he could be for us if this season continues to progress. I think he could be the Case Keenum of that Vikings team. But if not, I got my eyes set on that quarterback from BYU, man. Man, do I got my eyes set on Zach Wilson. Good God Almighty, man. Lord, help somebody right there, man. Young fella can go. But outside of that, if Kyle continues to progress, I'm not worrying about him turning anything over. Like those plays that he's keeping alive by moving around, and we can actually get another receiver to go with Scary Terry. Man, the sky's the limit. And plus, I hate talking about the next year, but we go into free agency and get a couple of pieces on that offensive line. And that run game get to running, Kyle Allen could be the guy that we have for a while.
How about you, Kenny?
I need to see more games. We got to string together like 4 or 5 games where he just light people up. Not only light them up, I want to see you take off and run, and I want you got to do some Aaron Rodgers type shit for me to be like, okay, all right, there's something there. You know what I mean? Because we've been burnt so much as a franchise with these damn quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to be sure. So I'm not giving him nothing this year. If anything, he could be a backup. I don't know. But if he keep on progressing upward, and like I said, if he start doing some Aaron Rodgers, Houdini, Patrick Mahomes, extending the play, elevate your team. I want to see our team down, and he put the team on his back, and win the game for us multiple times. You do that multiple times, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sold. And I don't care that he's undrafted or drafted this round or walk on. That don't mean nothing to me. I don't, what I mean? First round, 6th round, it don't mean nothing. If the guy could play, he could play. Okay.
I'm with you on that. I mean, he showed flashes, and he has been 100 times mobile than Haskins this year. How about you, Oscar?
I need to see more. Because last year, he was able to, keep the Panthers in the conversation for some time. He had like four straight wins. But then he regressed. So I need to see more before calling him a franchise guy. My opinion. I don't want to jump the gun just yet.
No, I agree. Would you would you be fine with him being a stopgap, like a Case Keenum next year for a Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a bridge guy.
Okay. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, Kyle Allen is a guy. He's not the guy. We saw that last year. We got a taste of that when he had better weapons in Carolina. You know, that Giants game still really sticks to me, where he was responsible for 14 points in the 2 touchdowns that the Giants got that time. You know, they were right there in the red zone pretty much and capitalized on that, and then he threw away the game, literally coughed it up. I think that Raheem Morris said it to Josh Johnson. He said, "You can be my backup quarterback." That's what Kyle Allen is. He can be a backup quarterback. He can be a guy who teaches Scott Turner's offense, whatever the heck it is, to the new quarterback coming in, and he can be a stopgap guy if needed. But I got to see more out of him. I really do.
No, I agree. So how would you guys? Let's switch over to the offense, and then that will be we'll talk about the offense, and that will probably be the last segment before we head off. But yeah, Kyle Allen, he showed there's a good Kyle Allen, there's a bad Kyle Allen. You know, he won the first 4 games with the Panthers when he filled in for Cam Newton, and then after that he lost to us. And, you know, if you lost to us last year, we were awful last year. We were 3-13, coached by Bill Callahan. Dwayne Haskins was the quarterback at that time, and you know AP and Geis went crazy in that game. But Kyle Allen definitely threw the ball away a couple times, and he took some sacks. I think we sacked him in that game like 6, 7, or 8 times, something crazy. The Giants game is inexcusable. If he does things like that, then you know we could fool around and be 4-12. But if Kyle Allen plays like he did on Sunday, then I could possibly see 7-9 if he keeps it up like that. So there's a good Kyle Allen and a bad Kyle Allen. We got to see the Kyle Allen that played in those first 4 games last year, and the game against the Cowboys on Sunday. So how would you guys grade Scott Turner so far? He's gotten a lot of heat, and I've been giving him some heat so far too. And I can't blame fans for being mad at Scott, because he's had some pretty bad games. So how do you guys feel about Scott Turner? Has the fan base been a little too hard on him? You know, always comparing him to Kevin O'Connell. Have we been too hard on him, or has he? You know, how do you guys feel about Scott Turner so far? What grade would you guys give him?
Scott Turner, the fans. Let me address that first. The fans, we deserve every right to be hard on anybody that comes in here. We have been let down, and considering the oldest one on, man, I've not seen this stuff the past 20 plus years. That pervert, since he bought the team, I've seen nothing what I'm used to seeing. And I understand that's the past. But you know, I asked if we had kept Donald Penn and re-signed baby boy that we let go to the Dolphins. What's his name?
Flowers.
The left Flowers.
Flowers.
Man, I really truly believe we would be a lot better and a lot further along than what we are now. But Scott, he's up and down. He's like a roller coaster, and I don't even get on them things. He, you know, 1 minute he's calling good plays, and then he'll show you on the fourth and 1 in the last game, you're gonna do a quarterback sneak with a guy that wasn't. I don't even think if Kyle Allen knows how to do a quarterback sneak.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
You know, plays like that bother me, and I'm like, what are you thinking about? You've been running directly up the middle on these people on Brandon Scherf's side. And I mean, you know, Kyle Allen, if I was to grade him from a F to an A, he's probably like a C- to me right now.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to disagree with you on that. How about you, Kenny?
Based on the last game, he's getting better, but I would have to say like a C-. The reason why, like Babe was saying as well, in that Giants game, like, what were you thinking? If we going for the win, why are you dropping back on the goal line and you throw the ball in the dirt? If you don't give it to Peyton Barber and let him run it in, you know what I mean? I just wish I was in a fly on the wall and I could just be like, hey, don't do that. That shit is stupid. Bro, hand the ball off and let him run it in, you know, on a dive, you know what I mean? Or if you are going to throw it, do something tricky, a play action, fake dive, Logan Thomas on a slant, you know what I mean? Something like that. but I wouldn't even take that. I just would have ran the ball. And, you know, I'm a firm believer in running the ball when you're on goal line all 4 times. Smash mouth. So, yeah, like Bay was saying, a C. I need to see more because he keep on doing – he is good, and then, you know, the roller coaster thing, man. Then it's bad.
Right. We got to see some consistency. We have to. How about you, Oscar?
I'm gonna echo what the 2 gentlemen just said. I give him a C because again he's up and down, and we saw when Haskins was in there. What was he doing? He was running it on 1st and 2nd down, and then throwing it on 3rd. And I'm like, is this Jay Gruden's offense? Like, what is this? So when he stuck Kyle Allen in there, I saw that it was a little bit more diverse. I'm like, okay, so that's why I give him a C, because at the beginning he was doing the same thing that Washington was doing last year, but then when Kyle Allen, you know, is coming in, you know, he's able to change it up. I don't know if it's because he's more familiar with Kyle Allen or what, but you know, I just gotta see more and see what else he can do further down the road.
Right. How about you on the Warpath?
Y'all, I give him a D-. He has y'all got to think about what we've sacrificed for the sake of Scott Turner's system. Adrian Peterson, the development of Dwayne Haskins, and the running game up until last week. That's what I look at. He said in the beginning of the season, I said on Doc Walker when I called him one time, he said that this offense is cerebral, more cerebral than his dad's. It's been hemorrhaging. Like somebody needs to call Inova how bad it's been hemorrhaging. For the first time we rushed for 30. It took you mean to tell me it took you 7 games to realize you need to run the ball 30 sometimes to win a ball game. Don't forget when he was the offensive coordinator the last month of the season in Carolina, this team averaged 3.5 turnovers per game. And that bleeds over to me. I don't care if they sell and ship or whatever. You trying to get another job. That's why I give them a D-, man. You played the Dallas Cowboys, who I'm going to say this. You scored 25 points against the Dallas Cowboys, who are giving up 34. I'm happy with a win. I ain't going to complain about it. But at the end of the day, that I think is a highlight on his report card, and that's why I gave him a D-, because we're sacrificing stuff. And what are we doing? Trying to protect you. That's what Ron's doing. He's protecting Norv's boy. But
yeah, I'd probably give him D+, C- too. I mean, because he couldn't get the run game going, and not all of it's on him because we were playing down. Cardinals were down 10-0. Eagles down 17-0 against the Eagles. Ravens down. So some of it is us shooting ourselves in the foot, but he hasn't done anything to help. He hasn't really got the ball downfield. Running game has been, I think we're worse in the league, 82 yards rushing per game before the Cowboys game. So I'm hoping from now on, he knows to get the ball to Antonio Gibson, to get the ball to J.D. McKissick, and keep it going from there. We got to start with the run game to open it up for Terry McLaurin, open up for even guys like Cam Sims, Steve Sims. So I want to ask you guys about the offensive line, how you guys have felt about the offensive line so far.
Wow. I can say that it looks like it's trying to get better. It really does. It shows where the leak is at, where those leaks are at. And I mean, like granted, yeah, we were playing the Cowturks, but at the end of the day, you got to see they see them up front. We don't. You know their weaknesses, you know their strengths. And if you can't play to their strengths, which will help this team, Mr. Turner, it's gonna be tough, man. And Morgan Moses, he got hurt. I don't know, it was a thigh or something, like they kept grabbing it. But God damn, man, if I gave that offensive line a grade, man, it's somewhere along the line, maybe a D, man. I mean, we quarterback is constantly running for his life. As soon as you hand it off to the running back literally has to do very simple moves just to get a yard or get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's just tough, man.
How about you, Kenny?
I would have to say probably like a C. I feel like since Kyle Allen took over, though, things are a lot better. He gets the ball out a little quicker. He's able to use his legs to extend plays. He made a play one time the game before to where he scrambled and he was getting chased down and he threw a pass to Inman. Some Aaron Rodgers type stuff, like a little bit of flash in the pan. And I was like, oh, okay, got a little bit of Rodgers. Okay, I like that. But other than that, I feel like the play calling is helping the offensive line. I feel like the quick game, stuff like that, because they know our offensive line ain't, up to par. So that's one thing Scott is doing in his credit. He's trying to switch it up because I don't remember him doing that when Haskins was in there. Haskins was taking a lot more sacks than Kyle Allen. Maybe it's, Haskins is more so like a statue, so I have to watch film and see exactly what's going on to give a fair grade to the offensive line.
Oh, well, that's a good take. Somebody said Wes Martin was the weakness. Wes was pretty bad. How about you, Oscar?
We can see where the weakness is, and it's that left side. Even though it's gotten better the last few weeks, but we can still see that it's a weakness because if you really think about it, the center to the right guard and right tackle, they're all veteran-esque. So and I said in one of my videos that Washington was going to be the most one of the offensive line is going to have the most sacks. And it's unfortunate that Sadiq Charles went down with an injury because I can tell. Look, I'm blind, and I can tell that that Sadiq Charles was better than what Wes Martin was doing. So I give it a C, but it can get better. Hopefully, these guys have a wake up call with Kyle Allen at QB. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sadiq. I wish for a speedy recovery for Sadiq Charles. It's rough. He got hurt after the first two plays, so I hope he can return as quick as possible. How about you on the Warpath?
I give them an F. They in pass protection. They've given up the second most sacks in the league thus far. According to Football Outsider, their adjusted sack rate is 9%, which is just behind the lowly New York Jets. They are bad in run protection. They're bad in pass protection. I always say this. I say this on my channel all the time. How in the world can the president move if the Secret Service agents don't know what's going on? The line is the Secret Service, and they just allow bullets all the time to get to the president, who is the quarterback. So I give them an F, man. Outside of last, and they gave up 2 this past week, and that could have been Kyle Allen's fault. But at the end of the day, it's the Bulls up front. Those boys got to learn how to eat, and they feel like they kind of let me down. So I'm giving them an F.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like that Russian judge out there, man. You like,
dude? Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm like Simon Cowell, man. I swear.
The line has been up and down. When Haskins was out there, it looked really bad because Haskins isn't mobile, but it looked like the line was pretty leaky. They have picked it up. And the Cowboys, they have good pass rushers. Aldon Smith isn't bad, even though he hasn't played in 6 years. And then the guy they traded, Everson Griffin, wasn't bad, even though they traded him for a bag of chips, a 6th-round pick. So offensive line, I probably give him a C-, and I'm being nice. Shout out to Derek JB with the funny profile picture. He says we rank 5th on defense, 2nd in the pass defense. I think we're actually 1st, but you might be right. We might be 2nd, 13th in the run. Why don't we put Antonio Gibson as a wide receiver sometime? So that brings me to my next question too. How do you guys feel about the running back room, and how do you feel how we've used Antonio Gibson? What do you think of his play so far through the first 6 or 8 games that we played? And do you think that he should be put at wide receiver like Derek JB said?
Our running back room, I think, is being you really can't really give a grade on him because that offensive line is so horrible. It really is. And I love J.D. McKenzie. I love what we got in Gibson. We'll probably never, ever, ever find out what we got in Love. So, you got to fix that offensive line. I think we got some guys that can be dynamic, man. I think they're playmakers. And as far as like what you said about putting Gibson out at wide receiver, use him like Pittsburgh used Le'Veon Bell. Man, you can get a mismatch all day with this kid, man. I mean, literally, you can have him running up the sideline, doing slants, doing posts, whatever, screens. Man, you could do some misdirection stuff, man. Kyle, whatever his name is, Scott Turner, he has got to start using this team a little bit better. Start doing some stuff that Kyle Shanahan does. That misdirection is a motherfucker, man. You put that play in there with Scary Terry, and they don't know he got the ball, and you think Kyle giving the ball to the running back, and he's been in that corner? Man, I just think we got some stuff on there with those running backs that really makes it exciting to see, but we probably won't get to see it until next year because of that poor play in the run blocking and the poor play in the pass protection. So I like our running backs. I really do. I really love them, man. I hope that they bring McKissick back, and I like to get a power back. If we can get a legit power back, if you don't get another running back, get a serious fullback and make it happen. That's all that's all I know, man. Smash mouth. And Gibson reminds me of Le'Veon Bell. He's not as slow, but this guy can literally do it all, man.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Kenny?
I like our backs. I really like Gibson. He reminds me of Marshall Faulk. He's able to come out the backfield, catch it. He can run it. I think he just needs to learn the technique of the NFL to square his shoulders, and he's upright all the time. You know what I mean? McKissick does it the right way. I feel like they should use him kind of like how Kansas City, they'll use their backs, or Carolina did it actually, how they use Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? And a lot piggyback what Bay was saying, how Kyle Shanahan have a lot of misdirection things going on and trick plays, and you don't know if it's a handoff, you got a jet sweep going this way, and this guy. Why can't we have something like that, man? We need explosive plays. We got explosive players. We need to take advantage of it. Line him up against a linebacker. Fake like you're gonna run it and send them in motion. You know what I mean? I want to see some weird stuff. Like, what are they about to run? Like, sometimes I could just tell the play they about to run. If you watch it on TV, but I'm watching Kansas City play it. I don't know what the hell they about to run. I just see guys over here. This guy, is over there. Or some the stuff that they do with the Rams. They do a little trickery too. We need to add something else, a different element. Learn how to use the guys we got.
Mm. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, Sean McVay does it all the time. We finally did it against the Cowboys where Gibson did do the reverse, and he scampered up for like 50 yards and got us to the 1 yard line where we didn't score. But like you said, we got it. We got to do something different. It was just really predictable. So we got to switch it up. How about you, Oscar?
I honestly like it. At first, when we drafted Antonio Gibson, and they said running back, I'm like, running back? Why do we need another running back at the time? And I was looking at his college highlights, and Christian McCaffrey came to mind. So he's like a Christian McCaffrey, and I like that because it gives the running game a little bit more versatility compared to what Adrian Peterson was doing the last 2 years. So I like it. I would like to see more of it. So hopefully, again, this game should be against Dallas that we just played should be a tone setter for the rest of the season because I really like Antonio Gibson and what J.D. McKissick have been doing.
Right. How about you, Warpath?
I think for what we've got, they've done well in the opportunities that they've given. I think they've Antonio Gibson, he's maximized on any opportunity that's been given of him. McKissick, he's been a little up and down. Where is the love? I think they wrote that song about Bryce Love. I don't think we're ever going to see him. He's the best thing that nobody's talking about pretty much to some folks. And then, Peyton Barber, I was shocked when he had a 3-yard run because you knew he blew his yards per run average out the water that day. But I would give these cats, I give them a B- for what they're doing. I think that they are, for as talent deficient as they appear on paper, they've done an acceptable job. if that makes sense. So I love what Antonio Gibson's doing. I think he can be what they called him at Memphis. He can be the weapon. And you know, whether that is being a running back or line him up as a wide receiver, you know, like they said, he does remind you of Le'Veon Bell and kind of to Kenny's point, Marshall Faulk. And when you hear those guys, they were fun to watch back in their prime. So I think we might have something here. We might have a poor man's version of that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the best grade from Simon from the Russian judge tonight, man. So really good.
Oh. Hey man, shoot! I tell him I give him hard grades, man.
But yeah, like Kenny said, you can tell Gibson's still learning because sometimes he is running too high. Sometimes even the ball placement is a little off. So you can just see he's a young pup still growing up. So I mean, he can be lethal for the next 4 to 5 years for us. I'm excited to see what the guy can do. Shout out to Pro Tech Sports. Make sure you guys sub him up. He is a Washington football YouTuber. Shout out to Juan Gotti talking sports as well. He said 9-7, baby. That's one of my. We're gonna get all pretty soon. So that is gonna be one of my questions too. So we're gonna get to that one. We're gonna talk about that pretty quickly, and then I'm gonna get to some donations real quick. Prodigy Z, thank you for the donation. He says, Shannon Briggs, what happened to your voice? Does anybody know Shannon Briggs or?
No, I'm lost.
Prodigy Z, man, he always comes on and says something off the wall. Oh, and about Bryce Love too. I mean, yeah, that's a big question mark. I mean, we're all. It looks like the world is waiting to see Bryce Love play football. Kind of like Reuben Foster. We're waiting for both of those guys to play. I mean, we know Reuben's not going to play until 2021, but Bryce Love is on IR. I would, I really want to see what Bryce Love. He probably will be better than Peyton Barber. We probably use him more. AM Hunter, man, I was waiting for you, man, because I did my Dallas stream last week with Law Nation, and I really wanted to put your profile picture up there while we were talking about Dallas. Come on, man, where was you at last? I needed that picture, man. I needed that picture up there. Derek JB, thank you for the donation once again. He says they could be playing vanilla until next top 3 salary cap. Get everything we need next year. Oh yeah, I do want to get. I guess we don't want to talk about 2021 too much, but how would you guys deal with the money? Because Ron was very cautious with the money with the salary cap. He missed on Amari Cooper. We barely signed. We signed Dontrell Inman and guys like that. Would you guys try to go after some big name free agents? And what positions do you think we should go after some big name free agents? Like I think Keenan Allen is a free agent. Juju Smith-Schuster is a free agent next year. I know it's too early to talk about this stuff, but if you had to just say what position, offensive line, corner, where would you guys try to spend some money at next season?
If I could get my hands on Keenan Allen on the opposite side of Terry, I wouldn't. You'll stay in shotgun and you'll throw the hell out of that ball. He would be priority. He would be priority number 2 because priority number 1 is that offensive line. I can't say it enough. I don't know if they're going to address that in the draft. I wouldn't. I would address that in free agency. I would go for whatever's there that is on the top of the food chain on left guard, left tackle, and it may even be like we're going to be shopping for a right guard as well if we don't get Mr. Can't Stay Healthy under contract because he's asking for a lot of money. I refuse to put him back on a franchise tag. You was at $15 million this year. I think that'll go up to 18. He's not worth for what he does. He's more on the sideline or at home than he is on that field. Offensive line is number 1 for me, but if we can get Keenan Allen, and another thing I wanted to say, I think the orphan boys are going to start trading people, and if we could get Jalen Smith, Lord help me, let me get the hell off this damn thing. Woo!
How about you, Kenny? And Kenny had a good question. Keenan Allen, I think he's actually on contract, so I'm wrong about it. He I think he signed like a 4-year extension or something like that, so he's off limits for us. Kenny, yeah, you said what's up with Robert? I like Robert Foster, man. I actually put a video up of him, and I actually put his name wrong, and it said Faster instead of Foster. And it really explains how fast he is. Because I mean, he runs a 4.4. He doesn't run a 4.3 like Terry or anybody else like that. But the guy can go, man. He can run. We could use him, man. We could really use him. I really want to see him play. I wanted to see him against the Cowboys because I know he probably would have had a good game against the Cowboys like everybody else does. But I know he can definitely help us out with the Giants because he's fast. He helped out Josh Allen with the Bills a couple years ago. I was watching his highlights, and the guy, he's a straight line runner. And, we don't need him to go out there and catch 10 balls a game. But if he can just get, even just forcing a pass interference, he could do something like that. The only deep threat we really have is Terry. So we need, and Steve Sims when he comes back, we need more guys that can just tell him to run. Just go run. Just go deep. And we don't have a lot of guys like that right now. But what do you think about that question, Kenny?
Like Bay was saying, the line first. But I trust people like Kyle Smith. They draft well. They draft well. I wasn't he responsible for the Cole Holcomb pick? They trying to say Jay Gruden? No, Kyle Smith. Kyle Smith, man, they draft well. So I feel like if you can somehow address the offensive line, maybe free agency or the draft, either one, and then offensive line, wide receiver. You know what I mean? Tight end. It's a couple ways I would go, but first offensive line, we need a Pro Bowl left tackle. I want somebody, to watch the blind side of whatever the quarterback, whoever it is. We need to start there first, kind of like how Dallas did at first. You notice what they did, and I hate to bring them up. They built their line up first. They built their lineup, and then everything. Now they falling apart, but they built their lineup first. I think we need to go in that direction, and I wouldn't mind also like taking a wide receiver in a second round, man. Or if you can find some magic like in the third round, Terry, because he's really played to a first round pick. Terry, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Terry's been he's having a Pro Bowl season. I think he's on pace for 1,000 yards so far. But yeah, like you said, offense it starts in the trenches. How about you, Oscar?
We need a tight end. Maybe not the first need, but that is something that comes to mind because after Logan Thomas, who's played okay to this point, has a few touchdowns, but who's after that? Butterhands, Jeremy Sprinkle. So I think we need I think we need to address tight end as well. That would be someone I don't know who's up in free agency for tight end, but we need to address that position.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think we need Jeremy. His time is running out in DC. We should have kept Hal Henches in my opinion, but the guy Hemingway looks pretty interesting. So I want to see him play more too. Logan Thomas has played a lot better with Kyle Allen being in there. How about you, Warpath?
Yeah, I think that you're going to have to focus on the offensive line because it begins and ends up front, right? I like the kid out of Oregon. What's his name? Sewell. Yeah. See, yeah, that's right. That dude. Y'all see him? He's a mauler. He is a mauler. I want him at left tackle. See, we got spoiled over the last 20 years because that was the one consistent thing in Washington was left tackle. Chris Samuels and Trent Williams, and then a couple of guys over the years. That's all it's been. And, we got spoiled. We didn't realize what we had. I think that is left tackle. The blind side is priority number one. Tight end, I think, is number two. Logan, I don't think he's a number one, but he could be a number two tight end. So I think that's somewhere you need to go address the wide receiver position as well. I think the linebackers could use a little bit of an upgrade as well too. Outside of Cole Holcomb, we've seen struggles with John Bostic, Kevin Pierre-Louis. So, I think those three positions right there, and possibly safety now. See if we can get a true free safety as well. So I think those four positions are going to be key coming up into the off season.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I'm starting to like Logan Thomas. He looks like a good tight end number two right now. Landon Ishmael looks like he has a fascination with Darius Geis. You just gotta let that go, man. Let that go. Mm-hmm. I was a Darius Geis fan. I actually bought his jersey like a fool. I don't know why I bought a Washington jersey because players don't stay in DC for a long time. So, but you gotta let the Darius guy stuff. Let it go, man. Let it go. Chris Carter, thank you for the donation. He says, and then he also says, "Win the East," which is my last question for the night. Shout out to Bad Dog. Shout out to Bad Dog too, man. He's a Giants fan. I know he's happy because your only win is against the Washington football team. I'm so mad we lost to you guys, and Ron Rivera just didn't kick the freaking extra point. Where we probably would have went to overtime and beat you guys. I do want to ask you about Daniel Jones falling flat on his face. What in the world happened with that? He actually looked pretty good running the ball. So, flat on his face there. But,
that's that B-Dubs glitch.
But man, though, yeah, we might have to do a live again, man. I'll probably hit you up on Twitter or something so we can do a live next week because we play you guys again, which is going to be a tough NFC least matchup. I don't know who you guys play this week. Oh, you guys play the Buccaneers. Ooh, that's
cool.
Yeah, they losing.
Oh yeah, you guys are playing the Buccaneers on
that's a loss.
Monday night.
On Monday Night Football. I don't know why they put you guys on Monday Night Football in the first place.
Go. Let's go.
Well, shout out to Big Simple and Bad. I'm not gonna talk too much trash until we play you guys again until we actually win. So I can't talk too much because you guys have your one win against us, so I can't talk too much. Big Simple, what's up, man? The Dubs family, shout out to the Dubs family, man. He went live for the first time a couple of days ago, so check his channel out as well. So last question of the night. Do you guys, what's your I know some of you guys don't like to do the guessing and stuff like that, but what do you think our final record will be? Has it changed before? Because when I did my first record, when the schedule came back in April, when it came out in April, I said 6-10. And honestly, 6-10 can really win the division. And I'm not even. I think we all agree that 6-10 might even win the division. So, what's you guys' final prediction for the season? And do you think we can win the NFC, or who do you think ends up winning the NFC least?
I picked Philadelphia to win the division in the beginning of the season, and that hasn't changed. We got a lot of things that need to go right for us in order for us to get to at least 6-10. We got a couple of winnable games the next two. So 6-10 is probably what I'm going with right now because I refuse to go back and say 8-8 again because they did so much to me, man. I literally was going to cut the neighbor's grass for free to watch these people just lose over and over again. It's just like somebody just grabbed my heart and said, "You got to be kidding me with these dudes with your prediction." So 6-10 is the best I believe we will do.
Okay, you say you still think the Eagles gonna win it?
Yeah, their coaching staff is solid. That's one thing that they do have over us is that their coaching staff is solid. Everything has been in place. That system is the same. We're still figuring out this system. We're still figuring out what we need to be. Carson Wentz, regardless of his turnovers, they're going to put faith in him because they put that money in him. They're going to put him in the best positions, although their offensive line is messed up. Miles Sanders done got hurt again. So, I mean, it's tough, man, because Philly has been in every game like the New York Smurfs have. And you just can't overlook that. We have been out of the games. We started the season off 0-17. Who in the hell does that? Us. We do that on a regular. So 6-10. Philly wins the division. We finish probably 6-10.
Okay. How about you, Kenny?
I'm a little bit biased. You know what I mean? I think we're gonna win the division. I think we're gonna beat Philly. I think we're gonna go 8-8. I think we're gonna lose to Seattle. We're gonna lose to Pittsburgh, and we're gonna lose to San Francisco. I think we beat the Bengals. I think we beat the Lions, and I think we beat everybody else in our division. The only 3 games we're gonna lose to: Pittsburgh Steelers, possible loss, Seattle Seahawks, and the San Francisco 49ers. That's it. 8-8, we win the division, and we hosting the game. We might get whacked the first round, but you know what I mean. I think we celebrating. We got something to look forward to. Don't y'all want to watch us in January? That'd be nice. Fire that grill up. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful feeling, man. Get hyped. Get hyped.
Yeah, start the new year off right.
Right.
Get out of 2020.
That's right.
2021 off right. Do you think it would come down to that last Eagles game in Philly, like one of those just NFC least?
Absolutely. But I think if everyone's healthy, our defense, the way they playing right now, Ed, they trending up. I just got us. We went in the division, and next thing you know, you go into the grocery store, and everybody got on Washington football. Your wife sent you to get some milk, and you like, oh, he got hey, what's up, buddy? You nice, you know what I mean? Everybody acting nice. You know how it is, man. When we winning in the city, everybody's just nice.
That is true. It's just different in DC. It's different. I got the new hat too, man.
I see. We swagged up.
How about you, Oscar?
So I said 7 and 9 in one of my videos when I first started, but I don't think we're gonna get to 7 and 9. I think we're gonna have a letdown game somewhere. We're gonna lose the 3 big matchups against Seattle, Pittsburgh, and the 49ers. And I think we're gonna have a letdown game. I just don't know against who. So I say 6 and 10, Philly wins the division.
Okay.
As painful as that is.
Okay. Yeah, so it is painful. I can see both scenarios. I really can see where we do lose to like a team we should win against, like the Bengals, or just something weird happens where like Kyle Allen might fumble or something stupid at the end or something. I can see something like that happen. How about you, Warpath?
Take out block the hate, so because y'all know I am. 6 and 10, 5 and 11. I think that's where we'll finish at. I don't see. I think that murder schedule at the end of November into December between at Dallas, was at San Fran and at Pittsburgh, and then home for Seattle. That is a killer. Like legitimately, that is bleach drinking right there, all together. And I don't know. That's a faith worse than a Corona at this point. But I really do think that this team is going to be more competitive going down. But I don't want this. I don't want Sunday to blind me in making a rational assessment of this team. I'm like a lot of the guys on here. I think Philadelphia is going to win the division because they've had more time to mesh. They know each other. I don't think they're going to be that much better than us, but I think it's their division to lose. They won it last year. And this season kind of reminds me of the 2015 year where everybody started dropping down like flies, and we were just the guys left at the top. So, anything can happen, but I still think, and I was the type of guy that said 9 and 7, 8 and 8 early at the beginning of the season, but I think it's going to be more like 6 and 10, 5 and 11.
I love that you say that about that 2015 season.
It's the same thing, man.
But guess who we played in that last game of that year?
Yeah, Dallas.
No, you're right.
We played Dallas. We beat Philly, though.
We beat Philly. That's true.
We're playing with Philly. We fired Kelly. We got Chip Kelly fired.
You got Chip Kelly fired. That is true. We might get Mike McCarthy fired after 1 year. But all right. You guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Why didn't you get to that daggone John Bostic one, man? That was
John Bostic. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it real quick.
Where's Bostic? Where's the guy? Where's the Bostic guy at? He's not even in here anymore. And he was on the chat the whole night too. He's not even on here. I'm still looking for him to see if he's in the chat, but yeah, I don't see him. But yeah, was it fair or foul? What do you guys did it deserve an ejection? Does it deserve a suspension in your opinion? Was it a Vontaze, a perfect kind of hit? What's your thoughts about that, OG? As you go through.
Hey, Ed, man, I truly, the way I feel about it, man, they have pacified these quarterbacks too much. Them dudes know exactly when to slide. This man was already in motion to get him. And it's hard when your momentum is to get that joker. Like, you that's how you tackle wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. man, you don't think, oh man, this man he's sliding at the last possible half a second. And I'm like, yes, he should got it kicked out the game. Yes, he should get fined. Yes. But at the end of the day, they got to do something about that, man, because this dude started sliding while he knew this man was coming. He wasn't worried about the man on his right or the man behind him. He saw John Bostic, and he immediately, and the Bostic was already, it was nothing he could do. So, I mean, I hate to see anybody get hurt, but at the end of the day, they got to do something about that daggone call, man. That call is awful. It is terrible. I wish that they would remove it. These quarterbacks, they know when they come out the pocket, they already slow. They know that it's possible that they can get that flag because the defender his momentum is coming, and his whole idea is to wipe him off the face of the map.
Yeah, it's a tough call. What you think, Kenny?
I'm reading the comments, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I watched it over and over. You know what I mean? It was a dumb penalty, but at the end of the day, man, fuck Andy Dalton. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like we needed that. Like I'm tired. You know what I mean? We need one, just one inmate on the team. Can we get one? Just one guy. We need one bad guy. Can we have one bad guy? You know what I mean? So it is what it is. People know we ain't playing. I like the Shazer Everett. I like John Bostic. You know what I mean? I wear the black hat for it. I'll be the one. So we need one guy. He's all right. He's all right. He got up. He's tough. It's football.
Yeah, like you said, we need that Dennis Rodman. We need that. We need that perfect. Well, I don't know as bad as a perfect.
Perfect.
But yeah, like you said, who cares? Yeah, throw Ben Detrashki in the game. Throw him in the game.
Yeah.
How about you, Oscar?
I personally didn't like the hit. I think it was fine with the ejection, and this is why I don't. Even though I do watch Stephen A. Smith and all those analysts on ESPN say like they were saying that he should be suspended for 2 games. I don't think it should be that far. That's my take on it. It was a dirty hit. His ejection and fine should be the end of it. It shouldn't be more than it. He really shouldn't be suspended, in my opinion. That's not his. Like I said, he's not a perfect or a guy. I don't think he's ever done something like that in his career. So yeah, if he did it like 3 times in a row, then sure, you go ahead and suspend him and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think. What do you think, Warpath?
So you said fair or foul? I thought it was fairly foul, or foully fair, one of the two. I mean that's old school hitting, right? I looked at it. I had to go back and look at it. And at first when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's bad. But at the end of the day, that's what happens, right? Sometimes you're gonna pull out in the middle of a car's gonna pull out in front of you, and the only thing you can do is hit your brakes on, and you're still gonna hit the car, right? I don't think John Bostic is a criminal. And do you realize he imposed his will on that team and broke their spirit? He legitimately broke their spirit. And Andy Dalton got sent back with his pants. He crapped his pants after that. Literally. Did he not? There's pictures on there. And the fact that our guys were more upset about the hit than his team. Like the center was looking at him like, dude, we getting drinks after the game or something? You paying, right? Like they broke John Bostic broke a city and a team spirit that day. And that's worth any fine. If I'm the Washington football team, we going old school Baptist and we bringing out a collection plate and we going to send the check for John Bostic.
That's right.
That's what it is. I mean, he broke their spirit, man. That at the end of the day, beautiful. It was a beautiful sight. Prayers up for Andy Dalton. Like B9 Nizzle said, he's a skin for life if he on the other team. So
hey, guess who's back? Again, look at him. Oh man! All right, man. We'll end on that laugh. We'll end on that note. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on. If you guys do want to become an Elite Channel member, You just hit the link below. Make sure you guys sub up Oscar. Make sure you guys sub up on the Warpath. Their channel links are down below. Make sure you sub up Kenny. Kenny's got the workout thing going on. I know people been eating good during the quarantine, staying in the house. And then you got Thanksgiving coming up, so it never ends. So if you want to get in shape, make sure you guys check out Kenny on the gram and on YouTube as well. Doing real estate. So if you are in Maryland, you're looking to buy or sell a home, make sure you guys check me out too. Thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, baby. Fuck them up, man.
They don't like this shit. Trust me. They don't like it.
3 of them boys.
Woo!
Woo!
I love y'all guys, man. Man, y'all have a great evening, man. May your families continue to be blessed by your spirit and all the wealth of your faith, man. Have a great one, man. Thanks again, Ed.
All right, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
All right.
Y'all.
Thanks, Ed.
Hail to the football team. Peace.
Thanks.